Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Senator Kramer, for letting me jump over you here with these questions. Mr. Goffman, regarding the proposed good neighbor rule, did you reach out to the states before deciding to move forward on that rule?
Senator Lummis, that's an excellent question because it's a topic that's really important to the Environmental Protection Agency and in particular to Administrator Regan. My understanding is that our regional offices worked with the states.
Well, they didn't reach out to my state of Wyoming. And we've heard from numerous states and stakeholders that the comment period for this hugely impactful rule is too short, even with this little 2-week extension that you've added. So are you willing to extend the comment period for the proposed rule, given its massive impacts?
Well, Senator Lummis, I think that is a very important issue, and if you don't mind, can I make a request and then I'll answer the question? I'd really like to get your guidance and advice on anyone in Wyoming you think we need to be talking to before we finalize.
Well, I'd be happy to get you that information.
Okay,
awesome.
Okay.
One of the big concerns is air quality models that are developed for eastern states need to be recalibrated for the western states. There's a difference. And so I'm curious, why isn't there a model for the good neighbor rule that's specific to western states?
Well, my understanding is that, in fact, we did apply our model specifically to the distinctive topography and atmospheric dynamics in western states. I think, like you, we fully recognized that what we can see with our models looking at eastern air issues is not identical to what we have to look at when we look at western air issues.
Let me switch a little bit.
We did take account of the distinctive features of, as I said, western air movement and topography.
I will get you some names because we have concerns about not having been contacted. So, switching to regional haze rules, should states have the flexibility in the development of state implementation plans that meet the objectives of the regional haze rules?
Generally, yes, Senator. Regional haze rules, as you know, as the senator from the state that includes Grand Teton and Yellowstone, where many Americans have spent, had wonderful experiences, in part because the air is so clear there. That's why it's so important. Generally, the strategy of the Clean Air Act and of the EPA is to rely on states to determine the emission reductions that are needed to fulfill their obligations.
So this is a head-scratcher for me because EPA substituted their preferences for the state's plan. And the state implementation plan meets the objectives of the Clean Air Act, regional haze, its programs. Why is the EPA substituting its judgment for states, given what your statement?
Well, Senator Lummis, I think I want to give you and Governor Gordon credit for the leadership you've shown on this issue, because for the last year, give or take, the state and the utility Pacificor that operates some of the critical plants in Wyoming have been in extensive discussions. Some of them are confidential because they're being conducted under the auspices of the Circuit Court's mediation practice. But I believe we're very, very close to a resolution that the state and the utility have reached that will allow critical facilities in Wyoming to continue to operate while making the emissions reductions that have been identified as required under the regional haze program.
And how close are we?
I think we're waiting for one more step, which would be the state submitting a revised implementation plan.
My time's up, but I'll follow up with you on some of the things we've discussed today. Thank you very much, Mr. Goffman.